Today we are talking about 19 McKinsey rules set by Marvin Bower that consultants had to obey or leave the firm. If you watch this video until the end, you will learn about the father of management consulting, Marvin Bower. I will share some of his story and 6 reasons why Marvin Bower succeeded while so many failed when building a management consulting firm, and 19 rules McKinsey consultants had to obey under Marvin Bower's leadership. And this can help you become even more trusted advisors for your clients and a more attractive candidate if you are currently applying for McKinsey and other consulting firms. Consulting as a profession is relatively new. It was brought into prominence, at least in the United States, by Marvin Bower from McKinsey Company. Many management consultants don't know who Marvin Bower was. Marvin Bower was a legendary man. He had a vision of what management consulting should be, which he actually brought into reality while sticking to high values and maintaining an unbelievable level of integrity. He knew what was required to build respect for McKinsey and did not compromise to make a quick buck. He showed an unprecedented level of commitment to the firm. For example, when it was time to sell his shares, he sold it at book value, whereas he could have taken the company public and made a fortune during his exit. A lot of McKinsey's current success is due to the momentum which was built by Marvin Bower and some other earlier partners such as Bill Matassoni, a close friend of Marvin Bower, and Kevin P. Coyne. You can read more about Marvin in Bill Matassoni's memoir. It is available on Amazon. It is called Marketing Saves the World, and that is actually a memoir that my company published. Another great book to read is McKinsey's Marvin Bower. I will link both for you in the description below. Marvin was such a courageous man. He built McKinsey from the ground up. From what I know about Marvin, he was good at not letting his ego be more important than the firm. These days it is so hard to meet someone with that level of integrity, loyalty, commitment. He was very strict. He demanded that McKinsey consultants abide by certain rules, such as wearing specific socks and clothes to ensure McKinsey consultants look professional and unnoticeable. Or, for example, ordering blue plate specials at restaurants to keep clients' costs low. He left legacy second to none in management consulting, yet somehow he is not just forgotten by many in the management consulting profession. He was not even known to begin with by most management consultants. If you want to be a management consultant, you should know who Marvin Bower was and what he has done for the profession of management consulting. Without him, management consulting would likely not even exist. But we never speak about Marvin Bower. You also need to know who is Bill Matassoni and what he did to build McKinsey. You can learn about it in Marketing Saves the World, the book on Amazon. And this is also covered in the Bill Matassoni show on strategytraining.com, which is Firms Consulting Sister streaming platform. I will include in description a link to a little piece from that program that you can watch. If you want to be an outstanding management consultant, start by getting to know who Marvin Bower was, what he stood for, who Bill Matassoni is and what he stands for, who Kevin Coyne is and what he stands for. You can watch Kevin's programs on strategytraining.com as well. And we have some videos here on the channel. There are a number of programs with Kevin to choose from, such as how to become a McKinsey partner, how to solve big problems, competitive advantage, advanced competitive advantage, how to be influential and make an impact, the consulting offer tool. I will link in description an interview we recorded with Kevin as well as a piece from one of Kevin's programs on strategytraining.com so you can take a look. And especially if you want to interview with McKinsey, it will help you to know who Marvin Bower was and who some of other impactful partners were, such as Bill Matassoni, Kevin Coyne, Dominic Barton, so many of them. But let's go back to the father of management consulting, Marvin Bower. Let's start with a quote from Marvin from 2001. Ideas are not enough. They do not last. Something practical must be done with them. And that is what he have done. He took ideas, implemented them with help of other amazing McKinsey partners, and that resulted in development of a powerful firm that lived on well beyond Marvin's time here with us. It is surprising how so many people in consulting do not know who Marvin Bower was, yet McKinsey exists because of Marvin Bower. More than that, management consulting was brought into prominence by Marvin Bower. If it wasn't for Marvin, we probably would not have BCG, Bain, Deloitte, KPMG Consulting, all other management consulting firms. He created a profession and, what is more, made it not only a respected line of work, but a dreamed about path for so many students and professionals. Marvin joined James McKinsey's accounting and engineering firm in 1933. And 6 years later, at the age of 35, he and his 3 partners, 2 over 60 years old, both struggled in McKinsey and committed to building a great firm. And Marvin built McKinsey from a staff of 18. Marvin did not rename McKinsey to Bower & Co. after taking over the firm, because it was hard for him to sell going to meetings being named Bower while company's name was McKinsey, and he did not want to put someone else through this experience. And he have built McKinsey into the powerhouse it is today. Here are 6 reasons Marvin Bower succeeded while so many failed. Marvin Bower focused on building a preeminent institution. He consistently displayed relentless determination, selfless commitment to the firm. Marvin Bower believed in a non-hierarchical management structure. During his years at Jones Day, when he worked on bankruptcies and reorganizations as a young lawyer, Marvin saw firsthand the dangers of CEOs being isolated from important negative information because employees did not feel comfortable telling the boss what was going on. Isolated CEOs ended up with disastrous results and ultimately failed companies. Marvin Bower sold his shares to his partners at book value when other firms were going public. Unemotional logic, integrity, and values. He reminds me of Vulcans in Star Trek. Marvin Bower was born at a time when women could vote in 2 out of 45 states, when Harvard had no business school, when the New York Times cost 1 cent, and when the world did not have management consulting as a profession. He used his lifetime to invent management consulting. Marvin had a vision to make management consulting a respected profession. During his earlier career, management consulting as a career was inferior to being a doctor or a lawyer. In fact, being in business was something people felt ashamed of. It was signaling that an individual was just not good enough for a more esteemed profession. It is remarkable to be able to change people's perceptions, the entire world's perceptions about your line of work in your lifetime. Knowing your purpose in life is arguably our main job. Marvin knew his purpose. He had a vision and pushed for it. This was done over many years. It did not happen overnight, but he did it. Marvin was the first to hire fresh MBAs from consulting. Prior to this practice, consultants were experienced, mature people with years of after-school experience. He was also very loyal to Harvard School and continued to making Harvard even more preeminent by hiring a lot of Harvard MBAs. And now let's talk about 19 McKinsey roles set by Marvin Bower. There were other roles such as formatting of documents delivered to clients, but these 19 roles will give you a good idea of the kind of roles McKinsey consultants had to follow under Marvin's leadership. McKinsey role number 19, being visible. Marvin was a determined person who was very set on what he believed in. One of the things he believed in was that consultants should be invisible. And this is how no fancy socks role came into being. As part of being invisible, he believed McKinsey consultants should dress as was common at the time. If it was common to wear hats, everyone at McKinsey had to wear hats. McKinsey rule number 18, save the client's money. Ordering in restaurants also had to be done according to Marvin's rule. The blue plate special had to be what McKinsey consultants order. McKinsey rule number 17, try to work directly with the CEO and deal primarily with major problems. If a client was someone below CEO level, the key message from McKinsey team may never get to the decision maker. Working directly with the CEO allowed McKinsey to focus on the most pressing problem facing the entire organization. In fact, Marvin once fired a McKinsey partner in Chicago primarily for doing a lot of work that did not meet the major problem threshold. McKinsey rule number 16, common values. One of the firm's values is the right and obligation to dissent. Marvin wanted even the most junior people in the firm to speak up. McKinsey rule number 15, common problem-solving philosophy. McKinsey rule number 14, action orientation. McKinsey rule number 13, high-caliber committed people. Marvin Bower believed that the firm's people and good reputation are McKinsey's top assets. McKinsey rule number 12, sensitivity to external factors, aversion to complacency. McKinsey rule number 11, regenerating leadership. Marvin wanted to develop enough leaders so the firm would not rely on one generation of leaders. McKinsey rule number 10, a national firm with multiple offices. Marvin Bower felt that to build a strong reputation, the firm had to be involved in communities. Therefore, a local presence was required. More than that, many clients had a national presence and could be better served if the firm had offices across the country. Lastly, Marvin Bower did not want members of the firm to burn out by spending too much time on the road. McKinsey rule number 9, we are what we speak. McKinsey has clients, not customers. It is a firm, not an organization, business, or a company. McKinsey has members, not employees. The firm has values, not rules. McKinsey rule 8, we are management consultants only. Marvin Bower resisted moving to the sidelines to take advantage of opportunities to make more money by expanding the firm's range of services. He envisioned McKinsey as an independent and unbiased advisor. Marvin resisted even one-off opportunities to make money on services or products beyond management consulting. A good example is when Kida Peabody wanted to buy a computer model that McKinsey built to evaluate acquisitions. Marvin's answer was no, we are not in the business of selling software. McKinsey Rule 7 published the firm's thought leadership to build McKinsey's reputation. Marvin worked hard on building the firm's reputation. He published a number of articles and books and gave numerous speeches at professional organizations, and he encouraged other members of McKinsey to do the same. McKinsey rule number 6, do not advertise McKinsey's services and do not solicit clients. Marvin did not want to make implied promises of what could be done for prospects because McKinsey did not know what they could accomplish for a client. So promising certain outcomes did not meet high professional standards. More than that, having clients approach McKinsey made it easier to serve clients, since clients did ask McKinsey for help instead of having a show me attitude, which is common when you buy something after a sales pitch. McKinsey rule number 5, put client interests first. Number 4, only take on projects where you know you can provide real value to the client. McKinsey rule number 3, the one firm philosophy. 2, the importance of teamwork. And McKinsey rule number 1, consultants should use their lunchtime to meet with and touch base with old and potential clients. Marvin believed that these 19 rules were in the long-term interest of the firm, and he lived by them and demanded McKinsey consultants live by these rules or leave McKinsey. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let us know in the comments your thoughts about the rules Marvin Bower demanded McKinsey consultants obey. And I know earlier I said McKinsey didn't have rules, only values, but not all of those things are values, so rules made more sense to use in this particular situation. I'm going to leave you with 3 gifts. Number 1 is a book I co-authored with some of our amazing clients. It's called 9 Leaders in Action, and you can download your copy at firmsconsulting.com/gift. Number 2 is McKinsey and BCG winning resume. It is a free download. Get it at firmsconsulting.com/resume PDF. And number 3 is overall approach used in well-managed strategy studies. You can get it at firmsconsulting.com/overall approach. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.